Hello, I'm Twyla.
I'm Natalie.
And this is Twyla and Natalie.
That's right, where we talk about the joys and the pitfalls of being a grown woman.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really starting to...
And we are.
I know, so far so good.
You kind of came out with that and it totally worked. Who knew?
Sometimes I get lucky. Now, as always on Twyla and Natalie, we like to pose a question. We like to talk about it basically from our perspectives. And hopefully while we're talking about it, we are able to hit on some sort of universal theme within that question that we're asking today. And as always, we like to hear your feedback at the end of the show. So today's question is... it's going to sound a little like up there in the air, maybe a little Gwyneth, but we're going to do it anyway. What price beauty?
What price beauty?
Yes.
What is the price of beauty?
More like, what are we willing to put ourselves through to stay cute as we get older? I feel like that's a valid question for both of us.
It
right
is.
now.
It's a really, I'm 46, Twyla's 43.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, the price of beauty is whatever I can afford. Because I plan on keeping it, I am not opposed to plastic surgery. I am not opposed to really whatever I think an individual wants to do to enhance themselves. I do feel my personal rule of thumb is to do it within reason. You're talking
within reason?
Within reason. I just got my eyebrows microbladed, which is similar to getting them tattooed.
Okay, yeah, no, you have to explain this because I am seeing you. This is not a visual medium,
yeah,
but I am seeing you like only a few days post getting this done, and you did tell me you were doing this.
Yes,
and I was actually like really, I don't know. I guess I wasn't surprised because you've been really open about like being willing to do things.
Yeah.
But I was actually like pleasantly surprised at how nonchalant you were about like, I'm just going to go do this thing.
Yeah, I'm going to go do this tomorrow.
Yeah. Because it's not like a small thing to do.
No, it's not. It's not a small thing to do. It's permanent. It's permanent. The process I went through, I got to retouch in, 5 years, a little bit of it, and maybe 2 years. For me, my eyebrows fall out. It's happened to my grandma, my father, my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And both my grandma and my sister have had their eyebrows tattooed. And I have some autoimmune issues, which affects that, which it could be, which they also have. So we're not sure if it's, because of our nationality background or the autoimmune issues. And it was happening more and more. And when I was getting it done, I remember talking to my partner and he said, I love you the way you are. I just like your eyebrows naturally. I'm like, you liar, because I don't even have eyebrows.
You're like, you've never seen them.
They're falling out because I'm putting makeup on and I'm coloring and I'm drawing them in, which works great till you get in the water at the beach and you walk out looking like somebody else. Or it works great. Till you take a shower, then you go to bed. Like, wow.
Oh, yeah. Because you kind of forget about them because you've done such a masterful job of like just making
with the
them look
makeup.
Like they're there.
So I didn't have it. And then add to it, I once scoped myself with an air assault rifle. So I have a scar in my eyebrow, which took out even more eyebrows.
Oh.
So I'm dealing with all this. So for me, when I went in and I spoke to the woman who did my microblading, I said, I want what I should have had. Have my eyebrows not been falling out. If I had all the eyebrows I should have had, take it a step up from there.
Okay.
So I wanted to enhance what I
would
have had.
So you're like, I want 26-year-old eyebrows, please. There's that sweet spot in your age where you didn't know then that was really like it was never going to get more right or tight than it was right then.
Yeah, until it starts falling down or out.
Right. Exactly. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it was real good back then. I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
And I'm a weekend and waking up, I am 46. I get up in the middle of the night to pee. And I look in the mirror and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Between, my eyebrows are done. I also get lash extensions. I've done it for years. Same thing. I'm part Chinese. I have these little eyelashes. Uh-huh. Not anymore. What God did not give me, my girlfriend Jenny did.
See, now I'm so the opposite of,
says the woman with eyebrows.
Well, I'm circling. That's the thing. I'm circling back
and
around.
Tight skin and beautiful lips.
But see, I'm circling back around because I think when you're younger, you just think, I'm never going to do that. I'm going to age gracefully. I'm going to age naturally. And then a couple things happen. either something catastrophic happens to your body, i.e. childbirth,
Yep.
that makes you revisit all of this.
Yeah, you rethink it.
Or I will tell you when the real crisis of conscience hit. The first real noticeable patch of gray hair. Like when it was like, oh, I can't just pluck that one. Wait, there's 7 of them. Or you go to part your hair differently. Like, where did all this hair come from? You know, then
multiplied like rats.
Yeah, I remember asking my husband once, and I was sort of joking, but not. I said, are we grayers or are we dyers?
Yeah.
And he didn't even flinch or worry about his newspaper. He was like, I'm not going gray with you. Like,
yeah. Now, did he mean himself too?
Yeah, okay. Pretty much. Because he'll, when he finds them, he sees them, he just takes them out. And I'm like, don't do that. They're going to come back in. But mind you, he's also Asian. So he's aging like black. They always say black don't crack. Okay. And it doesn't. But I mean, Asians even slower. It's like they're moving. It's like they're going in slow motion backwards. So I'm just over here aging.
It's more. Men get away with more gray hair.
That's true, but he won't. He doesn't even he barely has any. Like in the time I've developed, like a couple hundred, he's developed like 6.
So do you pluck them or do you color your hair?
I don't touch any of them right now. I'm sort of in a stasis mode where I don't really mess with them. When they get I have my hair's natural, so I don't use any chemicals or anything on my hair. So I do a lot of henna treatment just for the health of my hair, and that's had the funny after effect of dyeing the gray hairs like red, and my hair is already like reddish brown. So it just kind of looks like I did a weird experiment with my hair, and it didn't work.
So you do cover them,
but it wasn't even intentional at the time to cover them. And to be honest, I'm not like super dedicated. If I henna, it's been 6 months. Okay, I haven't done it, I'll do it. Like right now, you can see like at my temples, there's hair. If you part my hair, there's you can see it. But I don't think about it that much.
No, and you have dark hair. I have dark hair. I color my hair every 6 to 8 weeks, and in between, I have to use a can of spray to cover the little ones that grow out in the front.
You use the spray. You don't use the eyelash.
I used the eyelash brush and I struggled with it. I have longer hair.
Oh, yeah. So it helps if you're more like bangs or your parts.
Yeah, it was kind of, I found it hard to use. I have the can that has the long nozzle.
Yeah, I learned about this because my sister is obsessed with it and we like researched to find it for her because she gets way more than I do.
Sure.
And she's younger than me, which is messed up. So she's like, I'm not showing up with you and then I look older than you. So we went and found the little thing that she needed.
It makes such a difference. If you're, like me, my gray hair is growing in a lot faster, a lot quicker, and using that little spray in between, I like it. And I wear my hair up a lot because I have long hair, especially in the warmer months, and I can take it and just spray over the front. They come out in the front around my bang area. And for me, it makes me feel really good. I don't like random gray hairs.
See, I don't really, I think I'm more concerned. I'll be perfectly honest. I was not nearly as concerned with the gray hair on my head. I could almost care less about it because I just feel like it's just me. And at some point I'll get vain enough to cover it and I'm not worried about it.
Oh my God. Have you gotten gray pubes already?
Yeah, a couple.
Oh,
and I had a heart attack. I literally had a heart attack. I was like, okay, I need a therapist.
I just shave it all off so I don't even know.
No, see, I told you.
I don't want to know.
No, so here's the problem. I've always maintained that, as Gwyneth Paltrow likes to say, I've always rocked a 70s vibe. I mean, it's maintained.
So all of your hair is natural on your body.
Yeah, it's well maintained. It's not out of control or anything. It's well maintained, but I've never really had a desire to have nothing there.
Yeah.
And so this was the first time I had to entertain that idea. Like, am I going to commit to that?
Yeah. Otherwise, they're going to grow.
Right. And then I was like, but what am I committing to? Like, am I committing to bikini waxing at 43? Because no.
See, I just shave it myself. I've been considering switching to a bikini wax.
No, let's talk about
shave
that.
It at home.
Let's talk about that in the scope of what price beauty. I am almost seriously done shaving forever. I'm done. I'm sick of it.
So I've been shaving since what's it called? Electrolysis?
I don't know what I'm doing, but I've been shaving since I was 10 years old. Screw it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the razors. I'm sick of the razor bumps. I'm sick of the prep. I'm sick of the hours it takes. Well, I wear glasses. Do you know how hard it is to shave your legs clean in the shower when you wear glasses?
I'm always missing spots. I'm farsighted, so I can't see close.
I have 1 inch hair on my leg right now that I miss because I'll be honest, I was a grizzly bear for the winter. I did not shave my legs at all, and so then spring.
She took no shave November for about 8 months.
I really did, and then it was like we had an event to go to a couple weeks ago, and I was like, okay, I got to get cute for this, and it's going to require my legs out and stuff. I need a dress, and so then I went to shave. and I tried to wear my glasses in the shower.
Yeah, it's hard.
You know, and then I was like, okay, I think I'm good. I'm done. And I finished showering, and I got all ready to go, and I looked so cute, and I got in the car, and I crossed my legs in this literally 1 inch hair. And at that point, I'd already put sunscreen and stuff on, so my fingers are too slippery to try to like, pluck it out with my fingernails. And I was like,
I hate that.
It. I'm done.
So I'm gonna have to do some research and find us a way to get rid of the hair that doesn't involve a razor. That we can do it outside of the they have those electric ones.
What?
And then
like
you can wear your glasses.
Ladies?
I guess. I don't know.
No. Those things from the 90s are just like the little coil that grabs
things. No, but
things.
Surely they've gotten better technology. I'm not saying to use it on your vaginal area. I'm not talking about your legs.
Anywhere. I'm done with no. I'm seriously considering if laser is an option, because for a long time laser wasn't a really good option for dark skinned women.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
it doesn't. Apparently, it doesn't take as well to our skin. Mm-hmm. And then I bruise really easily, so I was always worried about doing something that would leave me like looking like I got beaten by something. So but I'm honestly, I'm already over two things. At 43, I am over shaving and I'm over having a period. Those things can stop.
You can take.
You can take them. I mean, if the Kardashians want to do me a favor, they need to make body hair a thing again, so that we can all just have it and be done with it. I blame them.
We should find out how they get rid of body hair, because they got to be pretty hairy naturally.
Yeah, well, no,
they probably got electrolysis.
Yeah, Kim did laser. She lasered everything. She don't have any hair on her body that she doesn't like. She did her arms, she did her legs, she did everything.
I used to do waxing in my lady parts area.
I did that once.
But the problem is I get to know the person who waxes me, and then I don't want them to wax me. You know, I want it to be anonymous. I just want to go in. I would prefer they treat it like a massage. Don't talk to me. I don't want to get to know you, and I don't want you to get to know me, because I'm about to spread my legs in front of you in a way that, you know.
That almost makes me feel like we need to have a relationship, because if you're going to see it, I kind of need to know that you're like...
and I don't want to run in the same social circles as you either, so you can tell people about my business.
Yeah, we don't have to be in the same social circles. No,
I almost feel like I got to go out of town and do it.
You know? but I'm okay with it being a consistent person. Like, to be honest, when I get my eyebrows threaded. And you know, and I mean, you do have to, depending on who's doing it, you have to have some fortitude to do that. But usually it's somebody I don't know that's doing it. And usually the women are really lovely that do it. But because they don't know me, they don't have any, you know, there's no finesse. They're just like, whoop. And
you want to be finessed when you're having your eyebrows threaded?
Yes, darn it. I want to be treated like a delicate flower, because it's delicate. I don't want to walk around my eyebrows swollen all day, even though they look laid and they're
I can only imagine that how you would feel about waxing your lady parts.
I did that once.
You'll need your waxing person to take you out to dinner first.
No, seriously. I did it one time. I will never
bring you flowers before you're waxing.
And here's the funny part. I didn't even do the whole thing, because I got so paranoid about it that I really just had them wax like the cleanup areas.
Yeah.
Like I was like, back cleanup for me, because I'm going on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to I just like literally like picked the shape, and the shape was really wide. They were like, well, normally we do more than that. I was like, well, you're not doing more than that today.
Yeah. You know what?
You're doing this.
I'm going to go get wax again. That is going to be my mission.
Nope. I can't. Nope. I can't. I really can't.
It's been a long time.
I can't. I mean, and I'll be perfectly honest. Like, I've always had, like I come from hairy people, so I've always had to deal with armpits, and I've always had to deal with like, you know, bikini line and all that.
But I want
kind of
someone
stuff.
who's not afraid to be aggressive. Maybe like a Russian woman who's just going to get in there and get it out. Ones who are timid and are afraid to touch you. No, just get at it.
No, I hear if you're looking for like thorough, like emotionless, go for it.
See, my favorite one
Korean
was a Russian lady. Really?
Yeah,
but it's, you know,
but they're not joking. They're not playing with you. Like,
wow,
it's not.
See?
Yeah, it's like man up.
That's why I love the Oriental massage places at the malls.
I don't like those
I love
either.
it.
I do not like those. They're far too public.
No, they have them where you can go in a thing, not out in the mall.
Feels
I like
weird.
out in the mall too. Those guys are strong and they don't talk to you.
I don't like those either. I don't. But I say that like I like massages. I hate massages.
Oh,
I don't like any.
it.
No, I don't like anybody. Nope. Thanks. No, my husband. We had that little weird phase when you're like.
Well, you have to be finessed to have somebody thread your eyebrows. For
That's
goodness
true.
sake,
That's
you're not going to
true.
let a stranger massage you. We are so opposite that way. I want a complete stranger waxing my lady parts. I want a stranger doing my
No,
massage.
I wanted to be like, hey, Trish, how are you?
Yeah, no,
how you been?
I feel like I have to entertain them. I feel like I have to be social, and that's a moment.
No, see, but I need that because that'll help me like get through the pain of it. Because when you're doing that, it doesn't feel good. And if usually the only weapon I have is humor. So if I can't make jokes with you and at least get some laughter out of you, I might really like cry. So.
Well, when you're listening to this podcast, make sure you go to our Facebook Matriarch Digital Media page and share with us the best way to get rid of our body hair because we need help.
I need recommendations. Because I'm serious.
We're tired of doing it. We're tired of the razor in the shower.
Yeah, I'm
dropping
serious.
it.
When I hit this back 40s, like when I hit this 45 and on, I'm not dealing with any of this anymore. So if we don't find a workable solution, I'm just going to look like a Yeti.
But that's why I did my eyebrows, and that's why I have eyelash extensions. I get up, and sometimes I just put lipstick on. That's it. And you can even get permanent lipstick if you want.
Yeah,
now, I don't want to commit to a color. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that either.
But it's nice.
I've seen people do the permanent eyeliner and stuff too, but I almost never wear makeup, so that's useless to me. I would just look like something's wrong with me.
And with my lashes done, I don't need to wear eyeliner. And so I rarely ever do. I might do a little bit on top, but I've heard it's really painful.
Well, I can imagine.
Really painful.
Well, I mean, her tattoo is painful, so getting it put in sensitive areas of your face.
I'm like, no, I'm not doing
like
that. But I'm all for that. It's more about it's maintenance. You know what? We get our tires rotated. You do things to flush out fluids of cars.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with taking care of our bodies. And if you want to let it all go gracefully, good for you. That's just not me.
Yeah, gracefully is one thing. Like
gracefully, not let it all hang out and be sloppy.
Yeah, that would be me. That's the problem. That's really the problem. Is I have to embrace the graceful part of this, and not just the like, girl, it's been 3 years. What are you doing? You know, like I gotta actually like embrace. Like to be honest, if I'm really gonna go full tilt like gray and let my hair go gray, I'll probably like shave my head again because I know myself. I'll look far more elegant with a shaved head of silver hair than I will with like. This
you can pull that off,
swoop of things going on. I'm more into that kind of thing. To be honest, my entire face is getting lasered the second any gray or white hair shows up on my face. I mean, this is not even a discussion. If you see me, don't even acknowledge me. Just know that's where I'm going. That's what I'm doing. Don't bring it up. Because I'm already hitting that weird middle age, like, the random chin hair or and I've always had a mustache. I mean, I have a better mustache than my husband. I know. And I made peace with it. I've had it since I was 9. I've made peace with it. But when that sucker turns gray, done deal. There will never.
That's where the lasering comes in.
Well, then we need to find me a very good laser. And no, I will. And I promise y'all, I'm cheap, but I'm not cheap enough to do that at home. So I promise I will go find an actual working professional and take care of that.
That's why I say within my budget, there's nothing I wouldn't do. Within my budget.
Okay, now let's
tomorrow
talk about
I could
that.
afford some lipo or that thing that melts your fat. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Okay,
tomorrow.
Now let's talk about that because these are sort of surface things and they can be a little pricey, but not crazy. Like let's get brass tacks, like real plastic surgery.
What would you do?
Would you do it?
Yes, I would do it.
Okay, what are you doing?
I would I wouldn't mind. Well, I thought about a tummy lift, except it leaves a giant scar, but I kind of already have one. In my pelvic area, I didn't have a C-section, but when I gave my mother a kidney, they had to. That's where they had.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at that. That was real. You actually did do that. I'm only laughing because you said it so benevolently.
Because it always feels weird to say.
Yeah, but you actually did do that. You actually are that selfless of a person.
Yeah. I am. But they had to cut, and that's how they took the kidney out. So I always thought if I ever got a tummy lift, it's only really extends that scar.
Yeah, that's fine.
And because I have stretch marks.
Yeah, a girl.
And I would love to them to just cut out the fat.
Me. Yeah, they did. They broke me. It's like an elastic rubber band. That first kid stretches it. The second one really stretches. That third one breaks it, and then you're like, oh, there.
At a minimum, I think some lipo or that thing they have these days, technology has improved to where they can melt your fat without actually cutting into you.
Right.
I think I would be a good candidate for that.
I mean, I've been trying really hard to be sort of like living with the stretch marks and being like, you know, there. And to be honest,
with the stretch marks, if they could suck out some of the fat.
Yeah, like I'm not ashamed of them. I mean, I think it took me a little bit. It's very jarring if you went from having like I was always an athlete and I was always very athletic and I had a very athletic build. So it was a very difficult transition to go from sort of always coming off as almost like more masculine in frame to being like really doughy in frame, and doughy and not and not in a cute way. Like when I first had my kid, big butts and little waists was not cute. It wasn't in. And and then it became in after I started like doing something about it. I was like, okay, fine. But there's that transition, like when you start to like lose weight and your body comes back together but not fully back together. Yeah. That you kind of, have to wrestle with.
Just helping. That's why I'm saying these things are tools. They're there if you want to use them to help nature along, get back to what you had. But I would always go a little better.
No,
I would go better.
No.
I'm not one of those people.
I disagree with that. Like, I want it better. If I'm getting,
that's what I said. I don't know that I would go way better. I would say a little better. Like my brows, I went better than what I would have had. But if I were to get, and I'm blessed with the boobies.
Right. Me too.
But as I age, if they start to fall more, I'm not opposed to a boob job.
Oh, me either.
I would still make them a little bit bigger.
Listen, I want them any bigger.
Yeah, you don't.
I actually, yeah.
You would fall over.
Yeah, I've actually had a discussion with a doctor about this, and I was like, "Well, you mean I can't have an A cup?" And they're like, "'Cause it's not symmetrical. I would not do that to you." And I was like, "But it's."
Why would you want an A cup on your frame?
I've been a C cup since I was 10 years old. A full C.
So you always want what you don't have. Twyla, you're not going to get any sympathy from women out there
and I am
who have A
full
cups.
triple digit. I am a triple D cup now. And after kids, and mind you, I am a triple D cup after nursing 3 kids. So, and so essentially, I don't just own breasts. I own like landing pads if I let them out.
But you could lift them. You know what I'm saying?
See,
they do a boob lift.
So why lift them when they can just take them out and I could actually run? That would be, what would be great to run without one hand slung across my chest to hold them in.
I know. That's how I run up the stairs.
Right.
One of my stepkids was like, why do you put your hands on your chest when you run? I'm like,
because it's painful.
Dude, I'm holding my boobs.
Yeah, it's painful. And yes, I've paid. And mind you, it would be nice to actually know what it feels like to go and buy a bra that doesn't have to be custom ordered, or to not exercise wearing 2 sports bras because I always have to wear 2 sports bras. Yeah, I am
not
fully
to make
over it.
less of your big booby pain. The struggle is real, my friend.
Yes, it is. I mean, I always wish that there was like a transplant surgery where I could take some of my blessing and give it to somebody else.
Yeah, it's funny how it is always what we want, what we don't have. It's
weird.
Yes. I get no sympathy from my friends when I talk about, oh my gosh, 20 minutes in the sun and I get so dark. I get funny tan lines from necklaces. I need to be really careful when I'm out in the sun because, I'm part Polynesian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody feels sorry for me.
No, of course not. Of course not.
They don't feel sorry for me when I say, gosh, it takes me forever to brush my hair. It's so thick and so long. So luxurious.
Yeah. It's like that's not cute. That's not cute. You can just pick that little compliment you gave yourself right back up. Put it away. I know when my friends, talk about stuff and I'm not complaining about things in general.
Yeah.
Well, I said most of the time it's because when I say things like, I don't even wear makeup. And they're like, shut up.
Yeah. No, I like to reserve my own compliments to throw out for the very few. I have a couple friends who love to talk about how they forget to eat. I just forget to eat. I'm just not hungry. I'm like, I forget a lot of things.
But I don't forget.
I forget where I park my car. I forget my own kids' names. Never do I forget to eat.
Exactly. Now, I guess in the what price beauty, we've kind of hit on the surface things. We would do a lot of surface things.
Yeah, for me, it's a matter of it comes down to budget.
Well, yeah, I'll admit that when we said you would do more surface things than me because I just don't care. I'm actually fully committed. I'm more committed to surgery at this point, it sounds like, than you. I've actually consulted.
For a reduction or consulted for what?
For a reduction.
Okay.
And because over time it causes me pain, like they're heavy.
Yeah, back pain, that's a thing.
But also, I thought about getting the stomach done because I was like, if I'm going to do it.
While you're in there.
Yeah, honestly, it was like, if you're going to do them both and it's just, and the difference in price isn't that much, and if I'm just down for the count once instead of twice.
You save on anesthesiology.
Yeah, I mean...
Mm-hmm.
I got a guy, so that's good.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I would happily, if I would entertain the idea of doing it all. Now, the only thing I get scared of is every once in a while I'll talk to like a doctor friend who is like, I can't imagine putting myself at risk just for a physical appearance when something could go terribly wrong.
Says the man with no boobs.
No, these are like women doctors that say this stuff to me.
Ugh.
And then they make me all scared because then I start thinking of like Kanye West's mom and how she passed away having plastic surgery.
She had heart issues, though,
right? Like she went to Brazil. Like she was just determined not to listen. She did what she was going to do, like under any circumstance. I mean, I feel terrible about that situation, but I think sometimes we get too caught up in it and we just don't listen to reason. And we, like she could have waited. Something else could have happened.
Yeah, I'm not going to fly to Ecuador.
Yeah, I'm not taking these plastic surgery vacations or anything like that. No, but I mean, I have seriously entertained the idea that I'm going to have this body for a long time. Yeah, and I would like it to be pain free in certain respects.
Well, and that's when you start talking about physical discomfort too, it's not mental discomfort, it's physical discomfort. It's putting a strain on your back.
Yeah, but it's a little bit of both. Yeah. It's just I happen to luck up. How
does your husband feel about a reduction? I'm curious because usually guys are always like, no, baby, don't do it.
Yeah, he doesn't.
You're perfect the way you are.
He never really wants me to do anything. Like he doesn't even want me to cut my hair.
No, every time I threaten to lose weight, my guy's so worried that my butt's gonna go away.
Oh no, my husband
just
no
don't lose your butt.
He doesn't.
And then when I start losing weight, he's like, is your butt getting smaller? Your butt looks like it's getting smaller. You want some ice cream?
I always like your boyfriend better than mine. Mine is always like, oh, if you're going to do those curls, let's do them this way.
Mine is trying to hand me donuts on the treadmill.
No, mine is always like, oh, like you got up and ran yesterday at 5:30. That was cool. You can do it again tomorrow. I'm like, yeah no.
And I used to think, and this is interesting because he would change nothing. He would never, because I've talked about, what I might do in terms of anti-aging or to fight the aging process.
Yeah.
And he's like, I really wouldn't change anything. And I always thought he was lying. But then I go up and down with a good 10 to 15 pound range, depending on the time of year. Mm-hmm. And he really, I can tell, he likes me no matter what shape my body's in. But that extra 15 pounds does a little something extra.
He likes you a little thick.
I know. I thought he was lying. Now I'm like, wait a minute.
See, I think we have this sort of understanding in our household right now that regardless of what I want to change or if I want to change something, there's still an underlying reverence there that came from the fact that I actually birthed children. I didn't just sit around and get big. I didn't just give up and stop exercising. Like I actually had children. And they actually changed my body. Yeah. And then anytime you're even entertaining the idea of saying something about that body, one of the children I gave birth to walks in the room, and it's like, and sometimes I'll drop it like it's not even subtle. Like if we're going back and forth about silly stuff, and I'll be like, remember, see these stretch marks? Like I use that to get out of work all the time. Like the kids are like, how come you don't mow the lawn? Because I got these stretch marks right here. Yeah, these ones are from you.
Solid mom math.
Yeah, like that's, and I always employ that, and I employ it with everybody. So. And I joke that, I know how to pull it together. There's a lot of fine German engineering.
That's right.
That holds these girls up and pushes it in and puts it all in order.
Latex.
Right. I use those products properly. Tools. Right. So a lot of people don't even, it always surprises me when people don't realize how, what my actual size is.
Yeah. And there's no difference between using, compression undergarments. I mean, there's a difference obviously between that and surgery, but really one is permanent. And one comes back out when you take off the tight panties.
Okay, well, I will say this. I would entertain getting like my stomach done solely so that I never have to go to like a formal event with Spanx on and then get to the bathroom to take them off to pee and not be able to get them back on.
Oh, and there's nothing worse than when you have to pee really bad, you're wearing double Spanx and you've had a few cocktails.
Okay.
Then you're doing all kinds of acrobatics in the bathroom.
Okay, so no, I don't even do acrobatics. The last time it happened,
you just cut a hole in it?
No, I took it off and threw it away. We were at this super fancy thing. It was really, really fancy.
So you were like somebody walked in with a closed up roll of crescent rolls.
Yep.
And popped the can, and that's what came out of the bathroom.
Yeah, I totally, and I was so embarrassed that it didn't have the this place was so fancy it didn't even have the little discreet trash can in the stall where you can just ditch it in there. So I had to ditch it in the regular trash, out where people were.
Yeah, those are expensive, Twyla.
Oh, believe me. And I was in the bathroom for 15 minutes. I was having an internal debate, and I had brought a little clutch instead of a regular purse.
So I was couldn't stick it in there.
Yeah, I was like, I can't get them. I mean, I couldn't get them back past my knees. I just couldn't get them back on. And I was like, okay, they're not coming with me. What do we do? And I was like, okay, can I tuck them? Can I tuck them under the side of the dress? I wore a black and white column dress, so there was nowhere to hide them. So I didn't have ruffles or anything. And I was like, okay, I don't even have a friend that can help me get back into it. So I was like, okay, we're abandoning this. And I did debate because these ones were like, they were the expensive ones because this was a big event. So I spent like $60 on this thing. I was not leaving
gosh.
Yeah, I was not leaving it. And then I took 2 steps out of the stall and was like, no, I could breathe. No, they can go.
Yeah.
We're going to abandon this mission. So I walked up to wash my hands and I had them tucked under my arm with the clutch to wash my hands.
Smooth.
And then I went to grab the paper towel and I like really super discreetly like tossed them in the bin. And the lady standing next to me totally saw me stop. And she
went to go dig them out. That looks like my size, girl.
No, she giggled. It was like that moment where you realize like, girl, a solidarity. Like she giggled and caught herself, and then we kind of caught eyes in the mirror, and I was like, yeah, you feel my pain. You feel my pain. So yeah, so we kind of left it at that. But I mean, so I kind of feel like we know we'll do some light things.
Yeah.
We definitely will do some surgical things. At least I'm probably going to do some surgical things.
If I have a windfall of money, you're going to see a whole new Natalie walking the streets.
Listen, if you're going to do it, if you're going to go get the surgery and get on the table, you should, if you're going to be the Terminator, be the Terminator 2000. Don't be the original Terminator. Be the upgraded one.
Make it better.
Now, would you are you willing to practice some of these sort of more extreme, like moving toward like the idea we want to not just be beautiful, but we want to live long and be beautiful, like the end of life prolonging things?
You mean things that will help you to live longer? Yeah,
on top of like you're applying it because you want to stay youthful looking, but at the same time
you're not being crazy.
Yeah,
I don't go too crazy.
Like,
I don't go celebrity crazy.
Yeah, like will you blue zone it?
What?
Blue zone.
Oh,
yeah,
the
like,
blue
yeah,
zone.
Like Dan Buettner. Like, will you change your habits, things like that? I've done that.
No, yeah, I try it in moderation. I think because I know myself well enough to know I'll never do something extreme like that. And if it means I only live to be 85 or 90, I'm okay with that.
See, I'm bucking for 150.
Wow.
Like,
see, then you have to blue zone it. But
up.
I love my meat. I love my Spam. I love a cocktail. I try to do it. But my key, I truly, if I can practice moderation, I'm happy.
Okay. See, I'm trying. I feel
but you're vegan.
Yeah, I became a vegan. I've been a vegan for about 1.5 years, but I was a vegetarian for like 15 years before that. So I kind of got to the point where it was like,
Oreos are vegan.
Yeah, I know. I eat them. I'm actually the last sort of transitional step to this is I'm going to attempt to cut like 80% of the sugar that I take in out of my diet.
And I do that. I don't eat on the regular processed sugar.
Yeah, like
unless it's in a wine glass, I just drink my grapes.
Yeah, that's the biggest piece that's left is if I can get rid of that, I'll be good. But I honestly, it wasn't.
And gluten. I don't eat gluten.
Yeah, like I didn't really do it for beauty purposes. Like it's been a nice little after effect that when you do this, you kind of lose a certain amount of weight and your body kind of regulates itself to a certain point, which is nice.
Yeah.
And which I enjoy. I really do. But I did it more because I kept thinking I'm getting older and I started having like little weird things creep up at doctor's appointments. Like you go for your checkup and they start talking about, let's talk about your heart health. Let's talk about this. And they're natural things to come up. But I have things that run in my family too. So it was like, okay, let's look around and see what I can control. Am I going to become a marathoner? No.
Yeah.
Am I going to start being, is my yoga practice taking off? Not really. Like I make a point now to try to move for 20 minutes a day. And I try not to have it be super like thought out. Like I'm not a good, I'm not a joiner. I'm not a
You're
gym
going to go
person.
to the gym.
Yeah. Like I'll go run around my neighborhood with the dog. I'll make sure to dance for 20 minutes in a day.
Yeah.
I'll dance until you break out of sweat. Something
Yeah,
like
I'll
that.
go in the yard and try to pick up sticks. I try to go to the gym once in a while.
Stuff that's passive, but it's a part of your life.
Yeah,
right.
And you have to know yourself. That's very self-aware, I think, to know that, and also you're very logical in, okay, I'm not doing this because I want to be a size 2. There's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah.
But in terms of prolonging your life.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. I mean, my husband likes to joke all the time. I don't even think he's joking when he says 70 years is good. He doesn't need any more years on the planet. Yeah. He feels like he's seen enough. And I'm always like, I'm going to tell my second husband all about you.
Yeah.
So I'm sure at some point, like between 60 and 70, I'm going to like kick it into high gear and try to get it right and tight so I can meet that second husband.
Well, and I think genetics plays a role. The women in my family, especially on my father's side, lived a long time. My great grandma was in her 90s. My grandma's 88 and still drinking her margaritas and going to Vegas. And,
we live a long time too. And I feel like if you're going to live a long time,
I just want to have fun doing it.
Yeah.
And if you enjoy the Blue Zone lifestyle, then that's a perfect combination. You know, I enjoy it. That's why I my biggest struggle is moderation. You know, one slice of Spam, not 5. You know,
don't eat the whole can.
One glass of wine, not a bottle. You know, but I also with my, you know, I have autoimmune issues that affect my thyroid, so I don't eat gluten. And when I do, I get messed up, and I work hard to cut out the processed sugar.
Right.
I did go to a movie the other day and ate my weight in Reese's Pieces.
Oh,
but I'll go 6 months and not eat any sugar. For me, once I get off the sugar, it's easy. Like I said, it's only in, you know, when I have wine or a cocktail, and I don't do mixed drinks. I'll do vodka with soda water. I keep it very simple that way. But for me, that's the toss up. It's like, okay, I know I'm going to want to have a glass of wine when I go to dinner, so I'm not going to have, you know, the sugar. If I ate sugar on top of, you know, my wine, it's too much sugar.
Yeah, we both be roly-polying around.
For me, it doesn't work for my body. For some people, it does.
Well, and I think that's part of the sort of that in that sort of discussion of, you know, beauty and where we're going with it is you kind of get older and you start to get a little more intuitive about yourself.
Well, and
you know,
Twilight,
like what works for you.
And don't you think too, I mean, we're talking about the price of beauty. You know, how far do you go with the price of beauty? And we've thought about it in terms of monetary and what it would cost.
Yeah.
But there's a whole nother side to it. And what are you willing to pay or give up in terms of things that you might enjoy to maintain a youthful appearance as you age?
That's true.
You know, we haven't really even think about it like that.
I gave up pizza. No, listen, I gave up cheese. And if you knew me in my past life, cheese was like my religion. Like I was not giving it up. And it was, cheese. And when I got to the point where I said, I'm going to try this, that was probably the hardest thing was like, am I really never going to eat another piece of cheese pizza? Am I never going to have another like thing of macaroni and cheese? I make like the best homemade macaroni and cheese in the world. And I'm
is that because how it physically makes you feel?
Yes.
Yeah. And
because I started to do the math on how it made me feel. Like I wasn't paying attention before. Like I would just enjoy what I enjoyed. And I didn't do it all the time. It was like, oh, it's the holidays. I'm going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And that was really how it even started. I started to like do a vegan detox in January because from Halloween till New Year's, I just did everything like full tilt, like however much of it I wanted. And I would feel pretty crappy come January. And so I started sort of cataloging like, how do I feel when I eat this? Like I love cheese, but I would always feel like super like congested and mucusy. And I always had terrible allergies. And I would wake up and sneeze for like an hour a day every day. I would eat certain things, you know, I would eat, you know, proteins like, and animal proteins, and it would just weigh me down. Or I would do that thing where I would eat a meal and like an hour after I eat the meal, I would literally pass out. I could not keep my eyes open. Like I would do such a hard sugar drop that I just couldn't function. And so I started to actually try to put 2 and 2 together. It was like, okay, I eat like this. My body does this. Maybe let me do a little research and see what other things happen. And actually asking questions on my doctor when I would like go see the doctor. And when I finally put it all together, I was like, you know what? This might actually work for me. Like it might not be forever. I didn't even say I was going to commit to it forever. I was like, let's just see how long it goes. And a year and a half later, I feel so much better. I dropped 30 pounds. You know, I sleep better. My skin is clearer. I feel better. It's not something everybody can do. Some people just can't commit to it, but it actually fit really well into my life because I was already mostly living a life like that.
Yeah, so, and then it's a good fit.
Yeah, and I'm not one of those, you know, I'm not a PETA vegan, so don't email me.
Yeah, she's never tried to ram it down my throat.
Right. I don't. It's not philosophical. It really is for health
she's
purposes.
Not in the cult.
Yeah, I you know, I mean, good for y'all if that we're saving, you know, resources and that we're doing better for the planet.
That's
but
great.
I'm not. I'm really and truly doing it because I want to know what it feels like to get to be 150.
Wow.
That's I want to be the lady whose head's in the jar, turn it toward the screen. I want to see I want to meet all the members of my family I can. I want to, you know, like I want to be here as long as possible. I really like when people say, "Oh, do you believe in like reincarnation and stuff?" I'm always like, "I don't know. I don't plan to find out for a really long time." I want to be here and hang out as long as possible. I am truly, even with all the pitfalls, I am truly enjoying this particular life. I would like to live it.
That's good. Me too, but I just want to be around as long as it's still, you know, fun. I can get around and have a good time. I can still chase down the 20-year-olds when I'm 85.
Exactly.
You know?
I just need to get to the age. I need to get to the age where I cannot wait till I get to the age where my adult children have to have like the safe sex talk with me. I'm waiting for that level of awkward where they're like, Mom, Dad's gone. I'm like, yeah, I know. We need to know you're playing safe. Like I want to, and then I'm going to act totally ignorant. Like I don't even know what they mean. Like I'm going to make them reference like condoms and everything. Like I can't wait. That is going to be one of the highlights of my life.
That is a life goal, to have your children have the safe sex talk with you as an elderly person.
Yeah, and I'm going to be dumb enough that I'm going to act like I don't get it when they talk to me individually, so they feel like they have to talk to me as a group, so I can make it maximum awkward.
I'm going to write a sex blog for seniors.
Listen,
that just shares all kinds of tools.
You should start that right now. You'd be rich. Hold on. Wait. Point of order.
Yeah.
Don't say that anymore, because when we do it,
we always give our ideas away.
Yeah, no, we're not giving our ideas away. That's proprietary to Matriarch Digital Media. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I've got a name. We're good. I think you're onto something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're living longer. They're building hospitals and little medi things everywhere. Think about how much senior living is going up everywhere. We're all going to live longer, and they're going to need, I'm going to be like Carrie from Sex and the City, except for seniors.
Well, they're the fastest, the boomers are the fastest rising group of STDs. I'm not even kidding. That's
they need more education on being safe, but also there's special pillows you can get. There's all kinds of stuff.
Okay, we'll talk offline about that. Yeah, we'll talk offline about that.
It's a whole subject by itself.
It really truly is. So I suppose to wrap this up, we should make sure we answer the question: what price beauty?
And to me, the price is whatever I can afford.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm really gonna go with that,
because there's not much that I'm opposed to.
I'm just gonna say you've been on fire with the one-liners. That's perfect. That's a perfect T-shirt. It's gonna say what price beauty in the front, and the back's gonna say whatever I can afford. I am totally down with that. So, as always, we want to hear from you. We want to know what you think. We want to know if you agree with us. We want to know what price beauty is for you. What are you willing to do? So come to the Facebook page, go to Matriarch Digital Media, and click on the Send Message tab. When you click on there, you can send us a message. Tag us in it. Just put hashtag Twyla and Natalie so we know you're talking to us. We want to hear all of your thoughts. We want you to share with us. And don't forget, give us your questions as well. If you have questions for us, if there are things you need advice on, you want to know what we think about it, we want to know those things too. We want to share our experience with you. So as always, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys next time.